Hey everyone, hello and welcome. I'm John David West. Welcome to Theater for the New City's weekly reading series, TNC on the Air, where we present live performed readings of new works. And yep, it's all about the writers. And tonight's writer, his name is Robert Kirkendall, and the play's title is DERMALOGIC, and it's directed by Byron C. Saunders. So a couple fun facts. Actually, this show has a cast. It has a bi-coastal cast. Half of them are in California, and the other half is somewhere here on the East Coast, New York City and New Jersey, and the director is in Los Angeles. So I don't know. I think that's kind of cool that we can't be in our theaters, but we can work, nationally and sometimes internationally. So that's a fun feature. And also, this show was part of the Dream Up Festival, which was canceled in the fall because of the COVID shutdown, and it was selected for that festival. And actually, what the Dream Up Festival is, it was created by Crystal Field and Michael Scott Price, and they present new works by local artists and actually artists from around the country. Now they've expanded it. So yeah, DERMALOGIC was selected for that, and when we open again, it will probably be presented on stage with the actors and in front of an audience, maybe next fall. So fingers crossed. And also Byron C. Saunders is back. We love him. We really love him. He's back. He directed another production earlier, when was it? November, My Dinner with Mary. So he's back directing again, and that makes us all very happy. So anyway, hi to everybody out there. Thank you for being with us tonight. I hope you are safe and well, and your loved ones are well. So thanks for joining us. And I want to say happy birthday to Theater for the New City, because this year is our 50th year of putting theater out there. So happy birthday, Theater for the New City. And I want to encourage everybody to head over to the website at theaterforthenewcity.net if you're not there already watching the show. There's a little yellow bar above. That's a donation bar. So feel free to donate, give what you can, $1, $50 to celebrate TNC 50, $100,000, whatever works for you. We'll take it. We need it. Believe me, we need it. And while you're there, join our mailing list so we can keep you updated on the upcoming shows and let you know what's happening in the future. That said, I'm gonna let you know what's happening in the future. This Saturday, we have another edition of Open Those Shut, and it's at 2 p.m. and it's outside at the theater. They open the garage doors for the loading dock of the theater, and boom, there's a proscenium stage where they perform, and audience members just stand on the sidewalk with their masks on and watch some performance for an hour. It's really cool stuff. So that's on 10th Street between 1st and 2nd Avenue every Saturday, 2 p.m. So join us, pop over there. And I also wanted to let you know that our recent live streamed performance of Thunderbird's American Indian Dancers Powwow and Dance Concert is on the website, streaming through March 7th. So if you missed that and you want to watch it, head over to theaterforthenewcity.net, and you can watch that until March the 7th. And finally, March the 22nd is the 18th annual Love and Courage Gala. This year, it's a virtual benefit, and it's for Theater for the New City's Emerging Playwrights program. And again, they're going to be celebrating 50 years, TNC 50, and their performances are 7:30 p.m., I believe. I hope I'm saying that right. But again, just head over to the website, theaterforthenewcity.net. I'll say it slowly, theaterforthenewcity.net, because I talk really fast. And you can learn everything you want to know about everything at TNC. And you can actually see past productions of this reading series there. They're all, most of them are all there online. You just look at, click on the tab for TNC on the Air and just scroll down and check out past productions that we have. And that's it. Also, one more thing. If you are a playwright and you want us to consider doing a reading of your show, of your play here, hit us up. Just send it to info@theaterforthenewcity.net, and then probably put TNC on the Air playwright series. So I think that's enough talking. I'm going to turn it over to Byron C. Saunders, our beloved director. And now, DERMALOGIC by Robert Kirkendall. Take it away, Byron.
DERMALOGIC, a drama in 2 acts by Robert Kirkendall, directed by Byron C. Saunders. Cast of characters: Ellen is portrayed by Estelle Piper, a woman of about 50. She's the owner and founder of DERMALOGIC. Kayla is being portrayed by Blagmon, a woman of about 50. She's the general manager of DERMALOGIC. Mandy is being portrayed by Carrie Wesolowski. She's a woman in her early 30s, and she's the managerial assistant to Kayla. Rick is portrayed by Steve Capasso. He's a man in his mid to late 40s, operations manager of DERMALOGIC. Steve is being portrayed by Odysseus Baylor. He's a man in his mid 30s, and he's the sales manager at DERMALOGIC. Monica is being portrayed by Marlene Villafane. She's a woman of about 40. She's the financial manager at DERMALOGIC. Carl is being portrayed by Rick Kuhn. He's a man of about 50, and he is the production manager at DERMALOGIC. Stansfield is being portrayed by Matt Matthews. He's a man in his 50s, and he's the executive at CostMart. Brody is being portrayed by Liam Bobersky. He's a man in his 30s, and he's the executive assistant at CostMart. Joelle is being portrayed by Cathie Bork. She's a woman in her 20s, and she's the sales assistant at DERMALOGIC. And Devin is being portrayed by Timothy Regan. He's a man in his 20s, and he's a lab assistant at DERMALOGIC. The scene: various offices at DERMALOGIC, a small skincare company located on the Central California coast, and a restaurant. The time is the present. Act 1, Scene 1. A business lunch at an upscale restaurant. Stansfield, Ellen, and Brody are enjoying a long lunch.
So, the deal was all set to happen, both parties in agreement, differences were smoothed out, the lawyers had all the contracts written up. And out of nowhere, the chief operating officer resigns.
Really?
He said he wanted to spend more time with his family. Now that's believable, huh? Well, of course, that put the whole deal on hold, but it was a blessing in disguise. Turned out that they had a massive debt bubble, and they had behind the scenes fighting that ended up collapsing the entire company.
Well, you dodged a bullet there. That's never a good sign when someone that high up resigns.
Well, apparently he was the only one that saw the trouble ahead.
Office infighting can be worse than a divorce.
And nobody wins.
Yeah, nobody except the lawyers.
Well, fortunately, my employees are on the same page.
That must be easier to do when you're the sole owner.
Well, it does make things more efficient. But as you know, it's a balancing act between letting people do their job without looking over their shoulder and not being there, being there when things go wrong and you have to straighten it out. It's kind of like being a parent.
Not an unapt comparison there.
Yeah, I've seen a few examples of that.
So, tell us about DERMALOGIC.
DERMALOGIC is a small but growing company that over the years has carved out a niche in a highly competitive field by concentrating on quality and making that our reputation. We've survived the ups and downs of the industry, a number of recessions, and have had continuous growth over the last 7 years. We have a small but dedicated workforce, some of whom have been with us for years, and I know they'll be up for any future expansion. But I guess you're looking for more than the usual PR spiel.
Well, insider information is usually the most accurate.
Yes, well, behind the scenes dysfunction that's hidden from the company website. But in all seriousness, I can say we have no major problem. We've learned how to deal with the minor problems when they appear.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
It was a struggle in the beginning. The mistakes were made, there were booms and busts, and Admittedly, there were a few times when I felt like chucking the whole thing. But over the years, we've grown into a stable company and created an infrastructure that allows us to take on all the issues that crop up in our business.
Steady as she goes, huh?
How about your workforce? Are they satisfied
Yeah,
for the most part?
for the most part. I mean, of course, everybody thinks they work too much and nobody thinks they get paid enough, but I could say the same thing myself, right? At least they get vacations.
The employees usually don't understand or appreciate the burden of the employer.
Oh, you can say that again.
Hmm.
But all you need from them is trust and in you and your leadership.
Hmm.
You don't need to be friends.
Haven't had a rebellion yet.
Oh, I'm sure you're a great boss.
Well, thanks. I'm glad somebody feels that way.
But you're happy with your team.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't do it without them. I like to think that I put together a very motivated workforce.
It does show in your profit margins.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But I give all the credit to my employees. I could not do it without them.
Well, you are only as good as the people around you.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. So, I'm curious.
All right.
What inspired you to get into the skincare field?
I used to work in a high-pressure sales environment.
Mm.
I was making decent money, but the hours were brutal, and I was under a lot of stress. I got so stressed that I started to break out in hives. All of
Oh.
them. I was treating it with all these different lotions, creams, ointments, whatever I could find, but nothing seemed to work. So I decided to make my own. And after a little research and a lot of experimentation, I finally found a recipe that worked.
Were you doing sales in the skincare business?
Business software. First job after college. I was just starting out, ambitious, but not sure what I wanted to do. It's a good thing I developed that skin problem.
I think that what happened was that you discovered that you preferred to work for yourself rather than for others.
Well, that does sound about right. I mean, it is a lot more work, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't have to answer to anyone but me and the customers, of course.
There's a certain kind of, comfort knowing where the buck stops.
But heavy is the head that wears the crown.
I've gotten used to it.
So now,
Yeah.
tell us about the people of Dermalogic.
Well, I couldn't get anything done at all without Rick. He's in
Hmm?
charge of operations, which, as you know, entails many different tasks and responsibilities, as well as tackling the problems as soon as they appear. Somehow, he keeps it all together.
No, the best ones are always miracle workers.
Right.
Is Rick one of your lifers?
Oh, yes. He's been with us a long time. When we got our first commercial space, he did everything from setting up the cubicles to organizing the warehouse to helping us put our first production facility together. He's been absolutely indispensable in growing the company.
Does he also handle production?
Now, that'd be Carl. Once the business started to take hold, we knew we needed someone with a scientific background running production. He spends his day in his lab with the machinery and the raw ingredients making the product. We call him our mad scientist, even though he keeps reminding us that he never completed his master's.
Has he been with the company as long as Rick?
Just about. Carl could have made more money elsewhere, but he believed in my vision, and he wanted to be part of something that was going to grow instead of being a cog in some giant machine.
I respect that. It does take faith to turn away from a bigger paycheck and cast your lot with an unknown entity.
Where did you find him?
Well, I used to consult with a professor in the chemistry department at the university whenever I'd had any science questions. And when it came time to hire an expert, he recommended Carl.
And how big of a crew does he have working under him?
About 10 of them. Together, they get it all done, from manufacturing to packaging.
Mad or not, You need your chemistry experts in this industry.
So, now what about sales and marketing?
Ah, Steve is in charge of that department or departments. Inside sales, outside sales, cold calling, copywriting, even customer service is under his purview.
That is a big umbrella.
Yes. But he has the energy and the stamina to do it.
Does he understand ABC?
He makes all his new hires watch Glenn Ross.
I never thought of that as a training film, but well, long as it works.
And he knows how to target your marketing.
Oh, does he ever? Steve has expanded our outreach into new territories I didn't even know existed. And with some of the strategies and campaigns he's come up with, they're genius. He brings intelligence as well as enthusiasm to the position. And he continues to impress me.
Even with your sales background?
When I was starting this business, I was naive enough to think that the quality of my product would be enough to sell it. Shows you how much I had to learn.
It also shows how much you believe in your product.
Well, I did have the overconfidence of youth and inexperience, but I learned quickly that skincare is a very crowded field, and I had my work cut out for me. So we went to every trade show and natural product expo where we could rent a booth, did product demos wherever we were allowed, and gave free samples to every potential retailer or distributor.
Nothing more crucial than getting the product out.
We were also fortunate to have testimonials from some of our customers, and you can't buy that kind of good press.
Well, it's too bad you don't have a celebrity endorsement. I mean, these days, that's what it takes to get noticed.
But in some ways, customer endorsements or customer testimonials, well, they're more valuable. People are more likely to trust another regular person rather than some celebrity that they assume is being paid. But other issues about sales is they can get an outsized sense of their importance because they bring in the money. Sometimes they get overzealous. They make promises to their customers and frustrate the rest of the company with unexpected work.
I put Steve in charge because you have to have a forward position, a forward person in that kind of position. I knew what I was getting, and more often than not, he has delivered. In the world of sales, nice guys do finish last.
Yeah, they're lucky if they even make it to the finish line.
And if Steve or someone else in marketing promises our customers the moon, then we just have to rise to the challenge. We've done it before.
Turning a negative into a positive, that's very important.
I've discovered that to be the best approach. We're small enough to where it's still like a family, although it's an extended one by now, so no one goes too far astray. My main responsibility is to carve out a path for everyone to follow. That way, no matter what happens, there's always forward direction.
Blazing that trail, yeah.
But in order to maintain any kind of enterprise, it's vital to have the right kind of number two. Who's your general manager?
That would be Kayla.
She been with you long?
Yes, almost from the beginning.
So she's an old friend.
Oh, since middle school. We've been through a lot together.
And how did she end up at the same field as you?
Well, she started out in teaching when I was doing that sales job. But once I was committed to my own business, I knew I need someone I trusted to start running things. She was hesitant at first, but when I pointed out to her that as long as she was working hard for all those hours, she might as well make what she's worth, that convinced her.
Wise hire.
She's the hardest worker I know. I couldn't do it without her.
Well, that's generous. It sounds like you are the hardest worker here.
If that's the case, then Kayla is the second hardest worker there. And another reason why she's been with me for so long, because she respects my authority, but she also tells it like it is. And people like that are hard to come by.
Blackout. Act 1, Scene 2. Kayla's office. She and Mandy are looking over a spreadsheet.
These figures should be up to date. I checked them against inventory myself. I'm looking at these figures. They should be up to date. I checked them against inventory myself. Kayla? Looks like we've had an increase in demand for the new citrus lavender lotion. Kayla? What do you think about those figures?
I wonder if Steve pushed it too hard and flooded the market. He's been getting harder to rein in. Do your video.
He can be aggressive like that, especially lately. Hopefully we won't have to buy any of it back.
He has been getting harder to rein in. I'll tell Steve to ease up until everything settles. But of course, he'll want to try a new marketing approach, and I'll have to remind him that we have other products to sell, and on it goes. Something got your attention, Mandy?
Oh, I'm just thinking about the lunch meeting Ellen's having right now. Seems more important than usual.
It is. Might even change the direction of this company.
Do you know who she's meeting?
She wouldn't tell me.
Really? Really? I thought she told you everything.
So did I.
Is that something new?
Ellen always has been hard driving, but she relied on me to counterbalance her ambitions, though lately she has been doing it alone.
Any idea why?
I've been wondering myself. She always shared her plans with me every step forward this company made, and she valued my input. Sometimes we disagreed, but I always believed she was glad to have me to argue against because it made her a better owner and helped to create a better product. But now, I don't know if it's overconfidence on her part or if my ideas just don't hold any sway anymore.
I know Ellen values you. I mean, she may not be generous with the compliments, but I can tell that she does. Maybe Ellen just wanted to do something on her own. I'm positive it's not because she thinks less of you.
You're probably right, but there's a lot under the surface that's not visible to most people. There are reasons why she's driven.
She's just mercurial, that's all. The most brilliant and innovative people march to their own drummer. That's how they get to where they are.
Yeah, Ellen has always liked doing things her way.
But she couldn't have done it without you. I know you don't like to call attention to yourself, but I see all that you do here, like the power behind the throne.
I'm not sure how much power I truly have here, but at least you haven't given up on learning the lay of the land.
I'd fall behind if I did that.
Smart. Most people tend to settle into a groove. They focus on the task ahead and then lose sight of the big picture.
I never understood how anyone could do that. You have to be ready for anything. Oh, like what happened at my last job.
It's their loss for laying you off.
Yeah, that's what everyone tells me.
It sure worked out so far for us. You've come a long way since you first came on board here.
Thanks, but I really couldn't have done it without your guidance.
I may not have been completely transparent about what this company is like when you were first hired, but I knew you would be up to the task.
Well, as long as you're here, I know things will be okay.
Thank you.
Seriously? This place would fall apart without you.
I don't know about that, but thanks all the same. You know, I think we'll be able to get a better handle on these figures once we know which directions the company is heading.
Well, that should get everyone back on the same page.
Hopefully.
I wonder if it's a new product. Ellen has been looking at some new blend recipes.
If it was a new product, I know about it. And Carl would be experimenting with new batches. I'm thinking it's going to be more of a business decision.
New investors, maybe.
Probably not. We still have some loans to pay off, and Ellen wouldn't want to owe to more people.
Well, we'll find out soon enough. Meeting should be starting soon. Coming?
You go ahead. I'll be there in a bit. The emails piled up, so I just want to sift through them real quick.
All right. See you there.
Blackout. Act 1, Scene 3. Back to the restaurant.
So, so then we had, I'm laughing so hard I can't even, anyway, after we closed the deal, we all decided to celebrate with dinner and drinks at one of the local brew pubs. And I was a little late leaving the office, as usual. So by the time I got there, the whole place was in a frenzy because one of the local sports teams had won a playoff game. They barely even noticed I showed up.
Do you remember which team had won?
I don't even remember what sport it was.
Not much of a sports fan.
I just don't have the time.
Only 24 hours in a day.
Yeah. I watch the occasional game when I can, but I mostly live for work.
Well, it sounds like we are all dedicated career people.
I've got to say, everything about DERMALOGIC matches what we're looking for. And the board is impressed with how you run your business.
Great.
Believe me, they are hard to impress.
Mhm.
Well, then I've exceeded beyond my expectations. And you and the board have been very generous with your offer.
You're welcome. It's the least we could do.
And you think your employees will like it?
Well, it's a big step, but I'm positive they'll go along.
You know, I can't see why they wouldn't. It's job security, if nothing else.
Well, you know how people can be about change,
Yeah.
but change is what makes the world go round. I mean, which they should know by now because of all the formula adjustments we've had to make.
Well, it sounds like you have found the most important formula of all. It's the formula for success.
Thanks. I try. And that's all I can do.
But there is no trying. You either do it or you don't. And you have done it.
Well, whoever said that never had to deal with the franchise tax board.
There's nothing better than when all parties are satisfied. Yeah, let me take this.
Thank you.
Sure.
Thank you for meeting with me, for taking a chance on DERMALOGIC, and for lunch.
Oh,
Well, I should, get back to the office. I've got a meeting coming up and a big announcement to make.
you want to have a drink before you go?
So,
What do you say? A toast to working together?
why not?
Eh.
Blackout. Act 1, Scene 4. The conference room with Monica, Rick, and Mandy.
You look a little nervous.
Just wondering why Ellen is running late. It's not like her.
It could be for good reason.
Such as
They hit it off and struck a deal.
a deal that we don't know anything about.
Just trying to find a silver lining.
If she's making a deal, that can only be a good thing.
But we don't know who she's meeting with.
I'm sure we'll find out soon. Besides, we're all not here.
Yeah, I noticed. Where's Kayla?
She said she'd be along soon. She just had some stuff to take care of.
Well, I wish Ellen would cut us in on these decisions. We're upper management after all.
Ownership has its perks.
Oh, yeah. Like long lunches and making your people wait. Does Kayla have any idea what's going on?
No, she doesn't know any more than we do.
Even Kayla doesn't know. Ellen is keeping us all in the dark.
Oh, relax.
I've been too wound up lately.
Are you still upset about how she shot down your last proposal?
It was a good idea.
Once we get into the medical realm, there'll be new laws and procedures to follow.
We already sell the hospitals and clinics.
Only a few, and they came to us. You're proposing a level of outreach that'll divert us from retail and take up a lot of resources.
It'll bolster our reputation.
I know you have a lot of high-end ideas, Rick, but we have to go to where the customers are. And most of them can't afford high-end prices.
Well, maybe sometime down the road, huh?
So that's where I'll be taking my next vacation. The water skiing there is awesome.
Man, dude, you can't beat the Delta. But nah, I like a more relaxed vacation. The only water sport I do is fishing.
So why don't you take some time off? You're due.
I don't know. I got a lot to do here.
Are we supposed to be having a meeting right now?
Ellen's been back from lunch yet.
She isn't. Well, I've got some phone calls to make.
And I'm smack in the middle of a batch.
You want to head back?
You guys might want to stick around.
How come?
This is going to be an important meeting.
Of course, they're all important.
And Ellen's running unusually late.
But that the meeting is running late might mean that she hit it off with a new potential customer.
Whoa. I thought it was the sales department's job to talk to new clients.
Maybe they wanted to talk to the head honcho.
Well, there goes my commission.
Well, we don't know exactly what she's doing yet.
Well, I mean, if it's a new account, I just hope it's not another one of those startups trying to get off the ground. That's throwing good money after bad.
Doesn't seem like Ellen would make a mistake like that.
Well, Ellen has a lot of good ideas, but they always don't pan out.
Starting this company in the first place was a big idea.
Yeah, so we can cut her some slack for being a little late.
Well, any of us show up late, we're getting written up.
Oh no, the people below us get written up. We just get a stern warning.
Oh, I've been on the receiving end of a few of those.
Haven't we all? When I started, she used to get on me if the financial reports weren't filled out to exact specifications.
I don't know. She never seems to give Carl a hard time.
Hey, that's because I get to hide out in the lab away from all the office drama.
Sometimes I envy you. You want to trade jobs?
Dude, are you serious?
Come on.
I couldn't sell it down for 50 cents.
Come on. I want to play with the lab equipment.
No way! You're going to blow the place up.
We've got enough excitement here.
Well, the real excitement is going to start once we find out what Ellen is up to.
Yeah, I wonder if it'll be a private label.
I hope not.
What's wrong with private labels?
Nothing if they work out. But most of them order once or twice, then fold up and leave us with all of their unsold products.
You mean the New Balance spa account? Water under the bridge.
Hey, I warned Ellen. All right, I had a bad feeling about them.
It was her decision, and you did the best you could to make it happen. So you got nothing to worry about.
Hey, I don't worry about anything.
Hey, Kayla, any idea who Ellen is meeting with?
No, afraid not.
I thought Ellen told you everything.
Not this time.
I thought you two were partners.
It's Ellen's company, not mine.
But you were there at the beginning.
In the beginning, it was just Ellen. I only came along when she decided to move her business from the kitchen to an actual workplace.
Ah, yes, that was about the time you moved everything into the barn.
It was.
I still can't believe you guys used to run this business out of a barn.
Not a literal barn, just a building in the old industrial.
It was built in the 1800s.
Late 1800s, and the rent was affordable.
It baked in the summer and froze in the winter. We lost some batches because of weather.
We had our growing pains, but we made it work.
But hey, you had to start somewhere.
And now Ellen is sidestepping you?
Yeah, she can treat you like you're one of us peons.
I just work here, like the rest of you.
No, you're more than that.
Yeah, no need for false modesty. Ellen couldn't have grown this company without you.
And who else but you keep things on an even keel when Ellen was having one of her flights of fancy?
That's a full-time job.
Her flight of fancy built this company.
I didn't mean to be critical, but she keeps all of us in the dark about this latest venture. including you, and that's what's different.
Yeah, we don't know where things are headed.
Be that as it may, Dermalogic belongs to Ellen.
What do we matter? We just work here.
I know she can be overwhelming sometimes.
More than sometimes.
But her tireless dedication has grown this company from a makeshift operation she did all by herself in her own kitchen to a small but growing company with close to 100 employees. And it was never easy for her. She has worked harder than anybody.
You know, things weren't always so stressful. Sure, we were always busy, but Ellen was more open to new ideas, and she gave me leeway to do my job right. The whole workplace used to be more loose.
I remember taking some long lunches so we could stay out of the barn.
Ellen allowed that?
Hey, they were business lunches. I think they were actually tax deductible.
Yeah, and sometimes we'd have Friday night after work parties. Even Ellen joined in the festivities once in a while.
That sounds hard to believe.
Yeah, she used to have a wild side, remember?
I don't think she ever had a wild side, but she definitely used to let her hair down more often.
Yeah, back when she was still going by and would join us for drinks at Lloyd's Tavern on occasion. She even laughed at Carl's risque jokes.
I knew she had a sense of humor in her. Just a matter of coaxing it out.
I remember it being the way when I first started. We had some fun times.
Ellen was always the first one at work and the last one to leave.
Yeah, that's true. You could never doubt Ellen's dedication, and she always kept us moving forward back when we didn't even know what direction we were going, whether we were going to succeed or fail.
And we were all in it together.
And sometimes on top of each other in that crowded little place. Hey, remember how Ellen said that we were going to shake up the whole system? She had some big ideas. Now we're part of the system in a business park with all the other businesses.
Well, you can't be the new kid on the block forever. At some point, you have to stabilize.
But it must have been so exciting to see the company grow from the beginning.
It was. And I don't think we appreciated it at the time.
Yeah, I guess we always thought it was going to be that way.
Yeah.
No marketing schemes, no outside consultants, just hard work and a lot of hours.
I hear you, Rick, but what works in the past doesn't necessarily work in the present. Back then, we had nowhere to go but up. But now we have to make sure we don't lose the position we've achieved.
Yeah, I just hope we don't change ourselves into the mark for the market. We should rely on the quality of our product. That's what's got us this far.
Plus getting the word out.
But isn't it easier to sell quality?
Well, the best product in the world won't sell unless you get people's attention.
But wouldn't you rather make an honest sales pitch instead of having to bullshit like a used car salesman?
Whoa. I'm not afraid of challenge, okay? I used to sell carpet cleaner door to door in all kinds of neighborhoods.
Well, whatever Ellen is working on shouldn't require you to go to any bad neighborhoods.
You know, we're just making assumptions right now. We still don't know who Ellen is meeting with or what they're talking about.
Okay. I know this is the elephant in the room, but I'm going to say it.
Well,
There's a possibility that Ellen is going to sell.
You mean sell the company?
Whoa, that would be a big challenge or a big change too.
Whatever gave you that idea?
Well, the company's worth at least $5 million or more. That'd be a tidy sum.
But would she really want to leave what she built up? It took her years to build this up.
I haven't heard anything about selling the company. And if I had, I'd tell you.
Yeah, but would Ellen tell you? Hey,
I'm sure she would. She's been playing it close to the vest lately, but something like that couldn't be hidden.
You know, I don't think Ellen would sell. She has too much of herself invested in this company. Even as business oriented as she is, I don't see her putting a dollar amount on her creation.
But if the number is if the amount is the right number followed by a whole lot of zeros.
Ellen has not indicated to me in any way that she's looking to sell. So I wouldn't worry about it.
But it's not out of the realm of possibility.
But like Carl and Ellen said, Ellen does have a lot invested here. So whatever dollar amount that would cause her to sell would have to be a lot more than what the company is worth.
I can't imagine Ellen not working. It's what makes it tick.
But if she did sell, she'll have the capital to start a new company.
Doing what? I don't know of any interest she has outside the company.
Let's just wait for Ellen to return and hear what she has to say before we jump to any conclusion.
Looks like she's here.
Quick, everyone, look busy.
Hopefully all of our questions will be answered.
I just hope nobody loses their job.
I don't see that happening. We all have a lot to do.
I guess I'm worried about cost cutting. That's what cost me my last job, and I am the newest one here.
Your job is safe, as is all of ours.
And besides, if anyone's going to get fired, it'd be us lifers who've had years of raises.
So I'd be replaced by an assistant that I trained.
The circle of life.
Here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes. Here she comes.
Oh, hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I lost track of time.
Well, that's what happens when you're having fun.
Now, Steve, it was a business lunch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it was a fruitful meeting.
Yes, it was.
It sounds like you wowed them.
So, who did you meet with?
Okay, I'll get to that. But I will say, I was afraid they'd be above me because of who they are and who I am. But we really hit it off. So overall, yeah, I made a good impression.
Well, most importantly, did our product make a good impression?
It did, as well as our sales growth.
So was a deal made?
The first part of the deal was made.
So what's the next part of the deal?
Well, let's get this meeting started, and I'll tell you all about it. Now, no doubt, you're all wondering who I met with.
Hmm?
Let me just say, after much discussion, negotiating, and getting to know each other, we agreed on a rather sizable opening order.
How sizable?
I'll get to the numbers later, but I'm going to say it's the biggest opening order we've ever landed by a lot.
Wow.
That's better than I expected.
Well, I hope we can pull it off.
Yeah, but the opening order is always the biggest, and that's just, after that, it's just resupplying inventory.
Assuming they stay in business?
Oh, this account will be bigger than that.
How so?
Because the people I talk to are from Costmart.
Oh,
Wow. So we're going national.
Across the globe.
Well, that's more than I expected.
This is an opportunity we've been waiting for.
This idea is going to take us in a whole new direction.
That's the idea.
But what will such a big order do to production?
well, yeah, it could put a strain on things.
Oh, we'll push through like we always do.
I'm just afraid if we push too hard, we'll have another equipment breakdown.
I haven't even told you the size of the order yet.
So how big is it?
Big enough that we can afford new equipment and then we can get rid of the old.
Okay, but we don't need all new equipment, just some new parts and upkeep, then everything will be like new again.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be great if we modernized? I mean, imagine having all brand new equipment.
Oh, sure, but no need to get further in debt.
It's not your department to worry about dollars and cents, Carl. You've got plenty to do in the
Yeah,
lab.
especially with this large opening order.
And how big is this order?
Well, the items they like the most are the skin protection and derma rejuvenation lotion brands, the ultra sleek massage oil, and the defoliant mix. So they want an opening order of 10,000 units.
Whoa, dude.
How much of each?
I'll bet they want more of the lotion. I mean, that's been selling a lot lately.
10,000.
No way.
Way.
I just can't believe it.
Jealous because I outsold you?
No, not at all. Just surprised.
I remember how to close a deal.
I have to admit, I do feel a bit humbled. Hey, hey, hey.
Wow. That's
Watch it.
saying something.
And there'll be more where this came from.
Well, how soon do they want it?
I told him 3 weeks.
Whoa, that's going to require some overtime. Also, we could use some extra help in getting this order done.
It's not in the budget right now. That's why we need this order. We're going to need most of our money for materials anyhow. But I promise as soon as the money starts rolling in, we'll be hiring more workers.
Quick question. Is there any way to get a down payment?
I wish. But we all know they're good for it, and we do have a letter of intent.
But not an actual contract?
Yeah, it's too early for that. But if we finish in a timely way, they'll arrange for the payment. They just want to make sure that we're up for the challenge.
We should check our inventory right away.
I checked the numbers already. Everything we need, we already either have, or it shouldn't be too hard to get.
And we've also had some trouble with our filling machine.
Yeah, I'd like to take care of that before taking on a project this big.
Carl, you always find a temporary fix when needed, and I know you can do it again.
But with such short windows, such short notice to get everything done, an equipment mishap could really throw a wrench into things.
Yeah, if we run into a production problem, that'll really slow us down.
Well, the sooner you get to a problem, the sooner you can solve
I'm
it.
just afraid of creating a more expensive problem later.
As I said earlier, you don't need to worry about the money.
I'll do the best I can.
That's the spirit.
There should be enough in the budget for essential repairs. Too bad you couldn't get a down payment.
If I had asked for one, it would look like we had money problems.
Doesn't everyone?
Appearances are important. At least we don't have to cut into payroll.
Thank God for that.
You know, there are a number of our customers still owe us. We could try to collect from them.
Unfortunately, a lot of them are going to go out of business.
And I've been trying to get them to pay up, but we may have to write the most of them off.
Okay.
It just isn't a safe world for the small retailer anymore.
Yeah, too bad most of them have been our mainstays.
Which is why we need this deal. Only the large established retail outlets are going to survive the onslaught of online shopping from home.
All of our advancements into computer science are bringing us back to the good old days of the Sears and Roebuck catalog.
Sears. Didn't all their stores close?
Sounds like we're going mainstream.
We're going to where the customers are.
But what about our original mission statement?
The world has changed, Rick. The number of retail outlets has reduced, and we have to accept that reality. We don't have the luxury to worry about selling out. We need to worry about selling.
But I always thought what we did was more than just about making money. We were part of something bigger.
I have not forgotten our original vision, and I have not lost my ideals. But all the plans I had when we were growing this company were from a different time, when more things seemed possible. Everybody knows the cost of living has gone up steadily for years. Customers need a better deal, and we have to go where they are.
It used to be that we didn't bend ourselves to suit the market. We were trying to change the market.
Which we have done. That's why Cosmart wants to do business with us. Now it's time to take the next step.
But if we've gotten this far largely because of the quality of our product, I think the natural growth is carrying us along the right path is just fine.
This is part of our natural growth. What's happening right now is that we're approaching a bottleneck of online shopping and closing retail outlets, and not everybody is going to make it through. Now is the time for us to move ahead of the competition.
Hold on tight, everyone.
I'm serious, Steve. And it's not just about this new order. We're also laying the groundwork for future growth.
All this is going to transform this company.
Yes, into a bigger, more successful company.
But if we get swallowed up,
do you really think I'd let that happen?
it's just that when you get into bed with certain parties, it's no longer on your own terms. What if they're too big for us?
We can hold our own. Why all the trepidation?
Because we're just learning about this major deal for the first time.
I think we're all concerned that this is moving too fast.
I was thinking the same thing. All of us have a lot to do here. And is it possible to hire a few more people? Even a couple of temps?
Don't you want a bigger cut of the upcoming windfall?
I'll be happy with whatever extra I get. I just don't want to lose my mind in doing it.
Now, well, you'd really lose your mind if you were surrounded by workers here who aren't properly trained.
I'll do my best.
I knew you'd understand.
So where is this opening order going? Cosmart has a lot of stores.
For starters, they're only going to carry our product in just 50 of their stores.
Only 50?
Oh, that's a lot for us.
Yeah, that'll be 50 separate sales orders.
I can already see that causing confusion in production.
Never fear. The entire order is going to go to only one distribution center, and they'll divvy it up from there.
Still going to be a lot of pallets.
I mean, our biggest pipeline yet.
Next thing you know, we'll be everywhere.
That's the idea.
I just hope we can keep up.
Of course we can. You all just got to believe.
You know, the biggest batch we made of anything is 2,000. An order this big is going to require 5 or 6 production runs.
So if we start now, we can get it all done within 3 weeks, if not sooner, especially if we're willing to work a couple of weekends.
Yeah, I really think we should count on 4 weeks. It'll give us some room if we have equipment failure.
I already told them 3 weeks. And how would it look if we asked for more time?
Yeah, but you just sprang all of this on so suddenly.
I didn't know I needed your approval to make a deal, Rick.
All I'm saying is that we need a heads up if something this big is coming down the pike. We do have lives outside the company.
Yeah, what if we have plans? And how many more weekends are we going to have to give up?
You'll surrender your life to the company and like it.
You think you're the only ones missing out on life? Running a business is a 7-day-a-week job. And I've made a lot of sacrifices over the years. I've given up more nights and more weekends than anyone else in this company. I'm just trying to make it the best it can possibly be, and I don't need anyone's smart-ass remarks.
Take it easy, Ellen. We all want this to succeed.
Yeah, we're just a little daunted right now, that's all.
Yeah, and I didn't mean anything by it. I'm just trying to lighten the mood.
Sorry. Sorry for losing control. I'm just a little excited is all.
Understood. And we just want to catch up to where you're at.
I wouldn't ask anyone here to do something that I wouldn't do. We've always prevailed over challenges, and the sooner we get this order done and out the door, the sooner we get paid in full. This is our chance to rise to the next level, and we can hire more workers, repair our equipment, and if this deal with Cosmart becomes as lucrative as I predict, it'll mean a raise for everyone.
That would get me to be positive.
I think we can get behind that. We
Good.
can get behind.
Good.
Okay, I'm on board with this. But my main worry is that growth will happen so fast, we'll leave behind all the things that make us what we are.
What we are is a small company that has to take the next step in growth. That means leaving some things behind, like clothes you outgrow.
Or a snake shedding its skin.
Oh, that's another way of putting it. But this is what we've all been waiting for. And when we all get to the other side, we're going to feel a sense of great accomplishment. Now, if there isn't any more, I better get back to my office and leave you all to it.
A quick question. My sister's getting married weekend after next, and I've been helping her with the wedding. I'll do what it takes to get this order done, but will I have time? I need to help my sister.
No one is going to have to miss any important family events, but all the help you can give us will be greatly appreciated.
I got a question.
Okay.
How soon before Cosmart pays us?
As soon as they receive that opening order.
Most of our customers pay us as soon as we invoice their orders.
Most of our customers aren't as big as Cosmart, and they're certainly good for it.
Yeah, but they probably gross in a day what we make in a year.
I had one last thing to bring up. Our raw material prices keep going up, and with the climate change affecting crops, they're going to go even higher. Has that been factored into this deal?
We've adjusted and been adjusting Carl's formulas and our prices to reflect those changes. And we've been doing all right so far.
I was thinking of a grand plan that allows us to make those adjustments quicker.
And no doubt, you're already working on it.
When I have the time.
Which is another reason for growth. Smaller unit costs for raw materials. All right, any more questions?
Just one more thing. How come Cosmar is only letting us into 50 of their stores? They're a lot bigger than that.
They're giving us a trial run at first. They're going to put us in stores that best fit our demographic. And if we do well, they'll put us in more of their stores.
So what is our demographics?
Neighborhoods that used to have boutiques.
Be that as it may, we have to go where the customers are. That's the reality of today's retail landscape. And if that's all, I'll be in my office.
Well, this was unexpected.
Guess she wanted to surprise us,
Yeah, he likes to do that once in a while.
but not like this. I wish she gave us more time.
Yeah, I better check our inventory. I know we're going to need more emulsifying wax.
Hey, why be down? So what if Ellen surprised us? It keeps us alert, separates the men from the boys.
And the women from the girls?
Well, all I'm saying is we're all going to have to put on our running shoes and go the extra mile.
Isn't that what we have been doing?
I can't remember the last time I ran anywhere.
Well, we're at a whole new level, and now we're going to have to rise to the challenge.
You don't have to sell it to us. We know what needs to be done.
So let's do it.
We are doing it. But Ellen also needs to open up the checkbook and hire more people.
So what if we all have to work overtime? Won't be the first time.
Easy for you to say. You're single. You don't have any kids.
Regardless, we're all going to have to step up.
I've been stepping up and working overtime long before you were here.
Hey, I've gotten us into new territory.
Oh, yeah, with leads that Ellen gave you.
Put them away, guys. We don't have time for this kind of conflict.
Yes, we all play an important part here. So let's all just treat this like any other sales order and go from there.
That's right. We can make this work without clashing.
I know. I'm just trying to be a motivator. That's all.
Oh, I didn't know you were in charge now.
Hey, this deal has been taking up a lot of Ellen's time, right? So someone has to step up to crack the whip.
Which is Kayla's job, right?
No need for the violent metaphors. We all know our jobs and what we need to do.
Okay, so what do we do next?
Treat this like any other new sales order. Check it against available inventory and materials. See if we're running low on anything and estimate how long it will take it to bring it to completion.
Yes, let's all get on that.
And just to let everyone know, I'm also working on some new accounts that are getting ready to place their opening orders. So there'll be more coming our way in addition to the Cosmart order. I want to make sure we're ready for all that is so I don't have to hem and haw with my customers.
Hey, we're all working hard here.
And any production can keep up.
When did we ever let you down?
Of course, production can keep up. It's all a matter of how soon can we get this job done while maintaining quality. It's my ass if bad product goes out.
Dude, and I'll be getting the earful from the customers.
Will you guys stop it already?
What?
We've all got a lot of work ahead of us, all of us. So let's just focus our energies in the way instead of going at each other's throats.
I agree. We can't be falling behind because we're too busy bickering. Now, I'm looking forward to this challenge. And once we get going, our collective momentum will keep us going.
See? The newest one here gets it.
And what does Kayla say?
I think you should all listen to what Mandy said, even if she is the newest one here. Now, I know we're heading into new territory and there will be adjustments, and new challenges. So we can't be turning on each other. Now let's just treat each other with respect, do our own jobs, and not tell people how to do their job.
I'm not telling anyone how to do their jobs. I'm just saying if
Damn it, Steve, will you stop interrupting? There's only one person who holds the whip here, and that's Ellen. And as long as I'm her right-hand person, it's my job to make sure everyone remembers that. Now, everybody, go do your jobs.
You heard her.
Gotta hand it to Ellen. There's a neatness and symmetry about this order. Even if it's a total surprise, at least it isn't messy.
I guess that's something to be thankful for.
Seriously, I mean, I used to work at a place that was a total mess. I mean, the owners would give us their wish list with no idea about how to carry it out. So we had to play mind reader and try to cobble something together.
Did the place fall apart?
I didn't stick around long enough to find out.
Smart move. I didn't think I was gonna have to assert my power.
You did what you had to do. Steve gets a little uppity sometimes.
Everyone knows my position in the company. I shouldn't have to explain myself.
Getting the power is one thing, keeping it is another.
Well, Steve better know his place. He's head of his department only. He doesn't give orders to the rest of management. I don't care if he's a rainmaker or not.
Rick. You are well respected here. Ellen wouldn't have kept you here this long if she didn't think you could do your job. Well, let's go over this order.
Okay. All right. You know, that kind of insubordination never happened before. It seemed like we used to be all on the same page. Now people are going off on their own tangents.
I've noticed that too. Bless Ellen has been a little more secretive lately.
But even when she was like that, or if she took off in some new direction, Kayla was always there to bridge the gap.
I think that's what changed.
She doesn't seem into it the way she used to be.
I think everybody's noticing that. Maybe that's why Steve popped off.
Well, he better not get any big ideas about taking over.
He might be sensing a power vacuum.
Oh, I hope I'm not interrupting.
Not at all. What is it?
I just wanted to go over the inventory. There are a few things we're going to need to order.
Come on in. We're just about to get to that.
Well, now I can tell already we're going to need another 100K of emulsifying wax. And,
Top of the list.
Good, because I want to get this done with no delays. The way everyone is stressing now, I've never seen it before.
Me neither. And that's saying something.
You know, just right now, Steve was practically appointing himself to help out in the lab. I told him not to worry, that will get her done.
He was probably just kidding around. You know how he is.
You don't want to be kidding around with volatile oils and sensitive lab equipment.
Of course not.
People spend years learning biochemistry. Oh.
Yeah, you know, I remember when Ellen hired you. I was still new myself. She was happy to have you on board because you gave us that scientific credibility we needed to grow the company.
You're damn right.
So your value to the company is substantial.
Well, that's good to hear. I know how to do my job. I've been doing it long before Steve ever showed up. I built that lab from scratch.
Everybody knows your importance, Carl. And Steve is just overreacting because of his new direction we're going in.
He needs to stay in his lane.
Only Ellen and Kayla have been here longer than us, Carl. We go way back.
That's right. We both played a big part in growing this company.
And I don't think I need to tell you, we've got your back.
Well, I'll be fine. I'm just spouting off. I'll leave the office politics to the front office.
That's a specialty.
You know, you're running the most important department of all, Carl. If it wasn't for the product, there'd be nothing else.
I'm just doing my part.
So let's just look at the inventory.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 2. Steve's sales office with Joelle.
All right, I'm telling you, Al, you want more than 200 cases. Listen, holiday season will be here before you know it, and you'll want to be stocked up. Yeah, well, you could do that, but you may be busier than usual by that time. Well, I mean, I can't go into specifics, but soon we're going to be expanding. Yeah, new business partner. What? Come on, that I can't tell you. Well, at least as of now. Listen, I'm just trying to warn you ahead of time and give you a chance to order while we still have the available inventory. I'll be busy with it myself, but don't worry. I have some of the best and most very capable assistants who will help you with all you need. Yeah, 250. All right. No. Of course not. You won't regret it. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes. Hey. Give my best to the missus. All right. Take care. Bye.
Oh, yay!
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes.
So good.
So good.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're using the new potential deal as leverage. Oh my
Yep. It helps them out too. And I wasn't joking about us getting slammed. I mean, we're going to get our biggest order yet. But as of now, they're not going to expand production.
Yeah, but don't we have enough inventory to get us over the hump?
Yes, but they don't have to know that. So you done with the reorder list?
Ooh, clever. Here is the latest.
Oh, well, okay. Thank you. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So let's set up as many as we can, and for the rest of the day, and then we'll just do the rest tomorrow.
You really do want to run out of inventory.
Well, if that's what it takes to get them to expand production.
Always stirring things up.
For the good of the company.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you know, I got a lead on a chain of drugstores in North Georgia, Florida territory. I was going to wait until the new purchasers, got settled in, but if that's your plan, should I hit them up now, sooner than later?
Strike while the iron is hot. We need to expand into that part of the country anyways.
Have you got a minute?
Always for you.
Okay.
Of course. What is it?
Rick and I just went over the inventory, so we wanted to tell you that what's currently available and what's on the way.
All right, good to know. So, Rick still isn't sore, is he?
Can we speak alone?
Joelle, how about you and the rest of the crew go get this list, and I'll join you later.
That's hot.
So he is still sore.
He is. He's been here a long time, and he doesn't like his toes being stepped on.
I don't see how drumming up new business is stepping on toes. I mean, they should welcome it.
But that's what I'm talking about. You can't be telling people how they should feel about things.
All I'm trying to do is help the company.
Everyone here knows how to do their job. And when someone other than the boss tells them what to do, they get rubbed the wrong way.
I don't know. I just think people are being too sensitive.
You need to be aware of what they're feeling.
What am I supposed to be, Dr. Phil?
No, just a team player.
All right. I've been actually I've been bringing a new account, so I'm doing my part for the team.
And you've got to let everyone else do their job.
I'm just, all right. All I'm doing is giving everyone a little boost.
Sometimes it comes across a little as bossy.
Well, someone has to do it.
Hey, there's a hierarchy here.
Oh, and I'm supposed to just know my place?
We all supposed to know a place.
So who's in charge of this hierarchy? I mean, Ellen has been gone lately, and Kayla seems to be somewhere else right now. And as for Rick, he may have been here longer, but we're both department heads, which makes us equal.
So give him the respect that he deserves. That isn't hard to do.
Okay, I may come across as pushy with them, right? But I'm only trying to help. Okay? Trying to help. I fine. I'll play nice with them. But don't you agree about Ellen and Kayla?
Ellen is looking to expand the company. So it makes sense that she would be spending more time on the road.
And Kayla?
And she is the owner after all. So who are we to argue? I can't figure out where her mind's at right now. I just can't.
Remember when she called back like sick a month ago and we didn't see her for a few days? She seemed to change after that.
You think it has to do with that?
Remember how busy she was working back then? She was losing weight, wearing herself down. Maybe she was cracking up and needed some time off so she wouldn't have to have a full-blown nervous breakdown.
Maybe things are starting to get to her, that's all.
Right. Well, Ellen is branching out. Kayla is dealing with issues that may sideline her. So who's going to run things here then?
I see.
I mean,
I see.
I know the company like the back of my hand. I know how to motivate.
But running things is more like a motivation. It's a lot of little details that would probably bore you.
Hey, I can make myself be interested.
It's not going to happen. You and Rick may be equals, but he does have seniority.
But he's a number 2 kind of guy. Could you really imagine him in charge?
Ellen is the only number 1 person here. Number 2 is best one can hope for. And I do. And do I have to remind you that I have more seniority here than you?
So you have your own plans in mind?
I'm not trying to take over. There's too much to do in finance.
But what if there's someone willing to take the challenge?
Again, hierarchy. At the very least, I'll be given the opportunity to turn down the position first.
Okay, I get it. But what if Ellen sells out?
Do you really think she's going to do that?
I wouldn't put it past me.
The company is her life.
She's a business person.
Okay. Let's just suppose. Let's suppose that happens. Okay. And some corporate board, a bunch of anonymous shareholders, and their handpicked CEOs are going to be in charge. So even if you did rise to the top somehow, you'll be back to where you started. Except now you have a whole lot of people to answer to instead of just one.
And I can rise to that ladder as well.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 3. Kayla's with Mandy.
Oh, I don't think I've seen things so stressful since I got here.
I've seen a lot over the years, but this is a new level of unease.
You think everyone would be in a better mood. This is an opportunity we've been waiting for.
Yeah, you would think so. But they do have some legitimate concerns.
I must have got caught up in Ellen's presentation. Maybe I haven't been here long enough to get cynical.
You don't ever want to fall into that trap. When the going gets tough, some people retreat into apathy. Others freak out and lose control. It takes maturity to keep a cool head and stay in the game.
Is that why you're second in command?
I think it was just a matter of timing.
You're still the most level-headed person here.
That used to be easier to do.
You still have it.
Thanks. But it takes more effort than it used to.
Did your time away have something to do with that?
Yes, it played a part.
Well, whatever it was, I think it happened for a reason. You've carried a lot of weight on your shoulders while everyone else bickers with each other. I think you needed the time off.
Yeah, they do that sometimes.
I do sympathize with Steve, though, because of all his responsibilities and the time he's put in. But I can also see where Steve is coming from, and Monica usually ends up being the mediator. We may not be the owners, but it's our work that makes the company go. So it's better that we all come together.
Sounds like you're up on the office politics.
It's hard not to notice. People around here tend to say what they mean, and everyone wants to be heard. That has to make your job difficult.
It can be like herding cats. The key is to make sure everyone gets something they want, because no one is going to get everything they want. And yet some people always want more.
That's a lot to juggle around. They don't teach you about clashing personalities in business school, do they?
I had to learn it all on the job.
I remember how Ellen once said to me, one of the reasons why she hired you was because you were a faster typist than her.
Thanks to all those papers I wrote in college. Turned out being a lit major helped me get a private sector job after all.
You busy?
Come in, Rick.
So, Carl and Monica and I came up with a list of items that we need to order right now, and a few others that would be good to stock up on.
Good. Let's see it.
And this includes for the new account Steve is attempting to open, right?
Of course.
Is Steve being difficult?
You saw how he was in the meeting. He's becoming a loose cannon.
He's only doing it to help the company.
But does he have to lay it on so thick? I don't care how many new accounts he opens. I've got seniority. And he's only selling so much now because we spent years improving our product and building up this company. He came in when we were on the rise. He wasn't there for the struggle in the early days.
Rick, your experience is known and appreciated.
Well, thank you. It's just that lately, I haven't been feeling the appreciation.
Yeah, things have been jumbled lately.
You know, it used to be there was a clear chain of command. Ellen to you and everyone else. Now I can't tell what's going on.
What do you think has changed?
Well, Ellen has been out of the office a lot more recently, and used to be that she was the main presence here, the driving force. Without her around, we seem to be losing direction.
But Kayla is always here.
Oh, and that's the other thing. Now tell me if I'm out of bounds, but it's starting to seem like you're getting a little fatigued. Now, maybe there's too much of a burden with Ellen being gone. Maybe it's clashing egos. Maybe it's all the office politics bullshit. But right now, we really need the old Kayla. I hope that wasn't too forward.
Not at all, Rick. And I appreciate you coming to me with this. Yes, I have been a little worn down lately, and it's for all the reasons you just stated. But I promise I will not let things get out of hand.
Can you rein in the loose cannon?
I'll talk to Steve.
I'd appreciate that. You know, I'm behind you all the way if you need it.
Great. Now let's look at that inventory list.
Ellen wants to see you as soon as you're available.
Okay, tell her I'll be there as soon as I'm done. I'm conferring about the inventory.
Okay.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 4. Carl's office talking to Devin.
Yeah, it looks doable to me. It's going to require some overtime, maybe some night shifts, but we can get it done.
Yeah, assuming our raw materials arrive on time.
Oh, I'm sure they will. They said they'd expedite our order.
And with our luck, the delivery will still arrive late.
Why so down?
I don't know. Guess I'm worried because the size of the sales order is making everyone in management testy.
Yeah, things are definitely ramping up.
They just need to relax.
Yeah, I don't envy you having to deal with all of that. We've got enough down here to do in production.
Yeah, especially with all this, some of these customers making demands on how organic our ingredients are.
Oh, that reminds me. Mother Nature's apothecary emailed us earlier. They want to make sure that anything we have with cetosterol alcohol in it is from a plant source, not a synthetic one.
They just won't leave us alone about that. I'm all for doing things the natural way, but they have to understand that takes longer and it's usually more expensive and it's not always practical.
Everyone thinks they're an expert.
I'll say parabens have become the new asbestos.
At least we don't have to worry about Cosmart being overly demanding.
Of course not. That's where the regular people shop.
But if it keeps up, we're going to have to expand production.
I agree, but it keeps getting pushed off. I don't want to get to the point where I have to say, I told you so to Ellen.
She's been somewhat absent of late.
You've noticed that too? Well, everyone in management was wondering what she was cooking up, and even Kayla was in the dark.
The rest of the crew is wondering what's going to happen next.
Are they looking forward to what lies ahead?
Some are, others are a bit cautious.
Worried about things getting too busy?
The bigger worry is that operations and production are going to have to move somewhere more business friendly.
Where? The third world?
Any place that pays less and pollution is allowed.
This isn't heavy industry or high tech. We're staying domestic.
Yeah, but some are also worried that they might move production to another state where they can do things cheaper.
Like the Rust Belt?
Rust Belt, Appalachia, the Deep South. You can even go to the Central Valley and see people scraping by in a way that they don't have to over here.
Yeah, things are tough all over. And I'm at the age where it's too late to start all over again.
At least your future is secure here. The rest of us don't have your seniority, so we don't know what the future holds.
Ellen promised that there would be no layoffs.
That's a relief. If that did happen, most of us would probably have to move away from here. Cost of living what it is here?
I hear you. One of my kids had to move out of state, and the other still living at home.
Yeah, between my job and my girlfriend's job, we just make enough to cover rent and bills. I can't speak for everyone, but I'm looking forward to any change that can lead to an increase in business and a pay raise so we can start thinking about buying a townhouse or a condo or something. I just hope it's not wishful thinking.
No, it's actually happening.
Good. Because I don't think anyone here wants to deal with the job market right now.
Can't say I blame them. Things sure seemed a lot simpler when I was starting out.
Lucky you were born at the right time.
Well, all we can do now is wait and see where this new partnership goes and what's Ellen's next decision after that.
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 5. Ellen's office. Kayla enters.
You wanted to see me?
Oh, yeah. Come on in. So, how do you think the meeting went?
It went all right, though everyone was surprised by your announcement.
You know, I gotta admit, I find that puzzling. I thought everybody would be more enthused.
Well, it's a lot to digest.
But we've had big orders before, and we've managed every time.
This is more than just a big order.
Yeah, but once everybody thinks about it for a day or two, you'll all realize it's the smart thing to do, and it'll be good for the company.
Sure, it's a smart thing to do, but it's still an adjustment.
What is it with this fear of success?
We're getting into bed with a major retailer, and things won't be the same after that.
Is that why everybody is stressing? Fear of a golden opportunity?
Well,
and I thought I knew my own company.
Well, you've been running around a lot lately, so maybe you don't see all the things that happened here.
Yes, I have been busy, but don't think I've been ignoring what's going on around here. And all the meetings, the lunches, the schmoozing I've been doing has been for the good of the company. I assumed everybody knew that.
But when you're gone, people start to go their own way.
And then you corral them and drive them ahead like you always do.
That's getting harder to do.
Dissent within the ranks?
When people are under pressure, they tend to lash out at each other.
Well, yeah, there's always been conflict here. I mean, every workplace has that. I mean, even the two of us have had our moments, right? But we always come together at the end. Is it becoming more of a problem than usual?
I don't know if it's getting worse because of their action or my inaction. I used to be able to get everyone in line.
Yeah.
Now it takes more energy.
Well, I'm sure it's because everybody has too much to do. But we're going to hire more people so we can afford it. That should ease tensions around here.
And that's another potential problem.
How so?
What if Cosmart or their cronies decide they want us to hire their people instead of people we choose?
What? That is not going to happen.
Okay, but what if down the road they want to be corporate partners and start dictating how we run our business?
And what makes you think that I would allow that?
Because it happens all the time.
I'm quite confident in my abilities to navigate through the business world. I've been doing it long enough.
But how do you know that at some point they're going to start making demands that we can't foresee right now?
Again, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
And when we get to that bridge, it may be too late because we're so busy catering to them and ignoring everyone else, like the old customers that helped us grow to who we are.
As we've discussed, a lot of those old retailers are no longer around. But we won't ignore the ones that are still in business. We can sell to both.
But only one has the resources to absorb losses. And then they'll be the only game in town. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point they decide to put their brand on our product and then our brand will get buried.
Kayla, I have to say, you've really lost the faith.
Just playing the devil's advocate like I always do.
Okay. Well, we've done private labeling before plenty of times without losing our brand.
Not on the scale they would want.
So, you don't think this would be a good idea?
If we lose our brand, then what will we stand for?
We're not losing anything. And besides, there's been no talk of private labeling, so there's really no point in worrying about it.
I'm just considering all the possibilities.
Look, the deal as it is now can only help. It'll give us the capital that we need to expand.
Always expanding.
If you're not growing, you're shrinking. You know that.
But the bigger the project, the more chances for things to go wrong.
No risk, no reward.
We can trade cliches all day, but we go back farther than that.
You know, I've always thought of you as more than just an employee, right? We're peers.
I may not be like one of the regular employees, but they all come to me with their complaints and their worries.
No, it's part of the job. And don't think I'm not appreciative. If I had to deal with every little employee grievance, I'd never get anything done. But look how far we've come.
Yes, we have.
And if they're complaining about the size of this order, remind them of the payoff.
Didn't you start this business for reasons other than money?
Oh, God. First Rick, now you. What is it with all these philosophical questions?
I was thinking back to when you first asked me to join.
Mm-hmm.
You said DERMALOGIC was going to be a business that concentrated on quality and customer satisfaction. It was not going to be just another profit-obsessed, white-collar sweatshop, like where you used to have that sales job.
Yeah. I had a lot of big ideas back then, but I was green.
And now you know better?
What I've learned is that staying in business is a far bigger challenge than starting a business.
And we have to attach ourselves to cost smart to stay in business?
But contrary to what everybody is saying, I have not forgotten my original vision. I'm just updating it, that's all. We're well past the startup stage. So now we can move forward and leave all those growing pains behind. Are you on board with that?
Ultimately, this is your company to do with what you want.
So is that a yes?
Of course.
You seem a little hesitant.
This is a big step. I'm thinking cautiously, that's all.
You know, you haven't been your old self since your time off. And I almost think the time away gave you some ideas.
Such as?
A career change, perhaps?
What? I've got too much invested here. How can I walk away from that?
I don't know. You could probably land a good upper management position somewhere. You know I'd give you a good letter of recommendation.
And lose all my seniority? I'd have to start all over again at a new company. And employees tend to be suspicious of new management that's brought in from the outside.
Well, I also seem to remember that at the last couple of trade shows, you were talking to the competition with a certain amount of interest.
I was trying to find out what the competition was doing, like I always do.
Okay.
Did I do something wrong?
No, not at all. It's just that you've got a good reputation in this industry, and I wouldn't be surprised if the competition tried to hire you away.
I promise you, I'm not going over to the competition. And even if I did, I wouldn't be able to take my knowledge with me.
Well, I'm glad you remember the rules regarding insider information.
Yes. And I'm not going to defect on you.
Good.
But I do have some other concerns.
Such as?
What if the cost-smart people want to start making personnel decisions?
I already told you, that is not going to happen.
But that's one of the concerns people have. Because once the money gets involved, once the big money gets involved and starts throwing their weight around, they usually get their way.
Okay. I'm in charge, okay? Yes, I realize we're sailing into new territory, but I haven't forgotten about the employees' concerns, as well as the needs of the company. Making DERMALOGIC the best it can be has always been my top priority.
All right, good to know. Now, pardon me for asking, but is there a possibility of a buyout?
Kayla, this company is my life.
Sorry, I had to ask.
What would make you think I'd do that?
It is another concern people have here.
But why would they think that?
Because buyouts happen all the time.
I am 100% committed to this company.
Okay. I'll let everyone know their job is safe.
And after everything I've done, God.
But just between us, what if they made you a really big offer?
It would have to be really big.
So you have thought about it.
Like I said, it would have to be a really big offer. I mean, enough to allow me to start a new business or buy my own island in the South Pacific. The odds of that happening are highly remote.
but not impossible.
Okay, if that did happen, and that's a very big if, you would all be able to keep your jobs. You're the ones that keep this place running.
And if not, a nice severance?
Oh, God, stop worrying. There is no buyout happening.
If this is supposed to be our big opportunity, how come I feel uncertain?
Because it's in your nature to be that way. You're always the cautious one while I'm the bold one. That's why we have such chemistry.
Yeah, we do have our own understanding.
That's right. And we wouldn't get that kind of relationship elsewhere.
I suppose not. But you have become more independent as of late. Going it alone.
Kayla, I will always value you and what you've brought to this company. And maybe I don't say it enough, but I absolutely mean it.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
So, what do you want to do?
Blackout. Act 2, Scene 6, conference room. Rick and Monica are waiting to talk to Ellen.
You know, this may not be necessary. Rick. Rick. Are you listening, Rick?
Oh, yeah.
It may
Well,
not be necessary.
I said it can't hurt, and I need some reassuring. I was thinking, I was inside my head.
All right, it happens all the time. Okay, it's okay. I forgive you. All right. For as long as we've been here, I mean, I really don't think we have anything to worry about.
Well, we're all sensing a power vacuum here, and I have to make sure I won't be left out.
I don't see any scenario in which you'd be left out.
And I need to make sure it stays that way.
But you don't want to look like you're begging.
Other than Ellen and Kayla, who knows the company better than me? Who knows how to keep all the departments running and going in the same direction? Huh?
But don't get ahead of yourself. We still don't know what's going on, what's going to happen next. And if you tip your hand too early, others will find out.
Well, like Steve.
Or anyone else.
Yeah, but he's the main competitor.
And you want to get to Ellen before he does?
First or not, I want her to hear me out. If I don't act now, I'll get left behind.
Still feels a bit premature.
Well, maybe not.
How so?
Well, guess who's coming?
He must be thinking the same thing.
You with me?
What?
You heard me. I've been here longer. I'm the heir apparent. You know that.
Let's just see what happens.
Oh, we all meet again.
Small world.
Here to talk to Ellen?
Why else would we be here?
So why aren't you in her office?
She's talking with Kayla.
Really? I wonder what they could be talking about.
No idea.
Eavesdropping on their meeting?
Hey, what am I, a spy?
Just asking.
What brings you here?
Same reason. Maybe we can talk to her together.
Get in line.
No need to get huffy.
Okay, guys, that's enough. Okay, Rick and I were already scheduled to see Ellen at this time. You can wait your turn.
So what do you suppose Ellen and Kayla are talking about?
Hell if I know.
Maybe they're finally having it out.
Ooh. If it's important, we'll find out.
Hey, here to join the party?
I need to talk to Kayla. I heard she was here.
Oh, she's still talking with Ellen.
What about?
We were just discussing that.
What's going on?
Apparently, we're all getting in line to talk to Ellen.
Is she still talking with Kayla?
Yes. Do you know what they're talking about?
No idea. Ellen called Kayla and asked to see her. That was it.
The mystery deepens.
Hopefully they're getting back on the same page.
Oh, I bet they know how to pick each other up.
I'm wondering if things are finally coming to a head.
How do you mean?
Well, it's no secret. Kayla has been preoccupied lately.
Yeah, we've all noticed it.
I've been rather concerned about her lately.
Has she told you anything?
Not much. I'm in the dark as much as anyone.
Maybe they're finally having it out now.
Any possibility that Ellen is going to fire Kayla?
No way. They have too much history.
Why would Ellen do that anyways? Not only have they been friends for a long time, but Kayla is indispensable.
But Kayla hasn't been herself lately. Friends or not, Ellen has a business to run.
I don't see that either happening. You know, if nothing else, Ellen knows that such a move would have a negative effect on morale.
Hey, don't hear any yelling out of me. I don't hear any yelling, at least.
We'll find out in due time.
Well, okay, maybe Kayla is the one looking to part ways.
You really think she would quit?
Seems like she's heading in that direction.
Kayla is not going anywhere. Whatever their dispute is right now, they'll come to an understanding.
I hope she doesn't leave. She's taught me everything I know.
Well, I did see something interesting about a week ago when I was in Kayla's office.
What?
I noticed that her desktop was open to Craigslist.
Was she looking at job postings?
I couldn't tell, but she didn't seem to want to talk about it.
I really don't know why Kayla would want to quit. She's put a lot of herself into this company, and everybody here likes her and respects her. Who would want to leave that?
Maybe she's tired of the pressure.
Or the thrill is gone.
But she doesn't seem affected by pressure, and she's the most level-headed one here.
I don't think we should be jumping to conclusions just yet. Let's just wait until they're done with their meeting, and we'll find out then.
We do need her. She's our connection between Ellen and the rest of us.
This company is bigger than any one person, including its founder.
Well, let's just see what the future holds. Oh, how'd it go?
Fine. We just had to clear the air, but we came to an understanding.
So, you're still with us, right?
Oh, yes, of course. And you'll be happy to know everyone's job is safe.
Well, that's good to hear.
We all got plenty to do anyway.
Any future plans discussed?
Working on the order in front of us right now, and then we move ahead.
Works for me.
Well, if anyone needs me, I'll be in my office.
Our turn.
Kayla, I had some questions, but it seems like you just had an important discussion, so we can talk later.
Oh, thanks, Carl.
Well, let's get this party started.
Hey, don't you ever sleep?
Yeah, when I'm 6 feet under.
Though relieved you're still here. We were all afraid that you and Ellen were at an impasse. This place wouldn't be the same without you.
Thanks. But this company is bigger than any one person, even me.
I do admit that I was worried about myself as well, because I'm the newest one here.
Your job is very secure. You have nothing to worry about.
Great, but I'm also concerned about what's happening with everyone else. I don't want to see this place sink into dysfunction.
Everything here is going to be fine, and you're going to be an integral part of it.
That's good, but I'm still feeling a bit uncertain. I mean, not completely. There's a lot to look forward to. I guess I'm just waiting for things to settle.
There's something you need to know.
What is it?
I'm going to be leaving here soon.
What? How come?
Something happened during my time away.
What?
I'm sure you and everyone else noticed I wasn't feeling too well, so I went in for a checkup. Long story short, my doctor sent me to an oncologist.
Oh, no.
Don't worry. They caught it early enough that they've been able to treat it without surgery.
But still, that's terrible.
It is, but the way I've been running myself ragged lately, I guess I can't be too surprised.
So that's what's been preoccupying you lately.
I've given everything I've got to Dermalogic over the years, and I think I finally reached my limit.
Well, I don't want to be here if you're not here.
Please, don't do anything hasty.
I've got friends. I mean, I've got connections. I should be able to find something.
But you've got to stay. The company is gonna need you.
The company can't function without you. Look how everybody has been acting lately, and it'll only get worse once you're gone. I mean, there's going to be a power grab. I know it. And I don't want to be collateral damage when it blows up.
The company can function without me. During my absence, you filled in quite nicely.
That was only for a few days, and it wasn't easy.
But you did it. I was very impressed. And Ellen was impressed as well.
What were you and Ellen just talking about?
Among other things, order of succession.
Well, Rick is next in line.
Rick is very good at what he does because he focuses on the task ahead. And he's been absolutely indispensable in building up this company. But he doesn't always see the big picture.
I still think he deserves a chance.
Ellen and I considered that, but after discussing it, we both agreed that Rick belongs exactly where he's at.
But what about Monica? She's been here for a long time.
Another specialist who needs to stay focused on her task. And anyway, she prefers to be down in the trenches with everyone else.
And Steve?
No way. Like all good salespeople, Steve is a mercenary. A GM needs to have respect and loyalty to the company vision.
And I suppose Carl isn't a fit either.
All Carl wants to do is run his lab. So that leaves you.
If I get pushed ahead of people who have more seniority, that's going to cause resentment.
At first, maybe, but they'll adjust. Besides, if someone else was picked, it still would have caused resentment. And since you weren't lobbying for or expecting the position, no one can accuse you of making a power play. You're the perfect compromise candidate.
I appreciate your belief in me, but I feel like I'm being moved around like a chess piece.
I'm sorry to surprise you like this, but think of all the people that are relying upon this economic engine called Dermalogic, and not just the employees, but their families, where they shop, taxes that pay for public services, their children's future, our local community. Someone with smarts, a level head, and an ability to see the big picture is who's needed to help guide this little company into its new and unknown future. And that someone is you.
How much longer are you going to be here?
I told Ellen I'd stay long enough to help get the Cosmart order out the door. So about a month or so. And after that, you'll take over as GM.
I hope I'm up to it.
You can do it. I've been training you for it. So I wouldn't pass this on to you otherwise. To be honest, I've been planning for this a long while, even before my time off.
So what are you going to do?
Recover, enjoy the time off, reconnect with family, maybe get back into teaching once I'm feeling better.
And I'll be here.
Sorry again for the shock. But I had to keep it under my hat until the right time was right. I would have done it sooner, but when I saw that Ellen was planning a big change, I figured I should wait until I knew what she was doing.
Does anyone else know yet?
No, not yet, but they'll find out in due time.
I don't think they'll accept me being in charge.
If anyone gives you a hard time, tell them you're carrying out my orders. They'll understand that. And if you keep doing that, they'll get used to hearing orders from you. And then they'll accept you as the new GM when the time comes. The main thing is to have confidence. And if you have any questions or run into problems, I'm just a phone call away.
But I don't have the same relationship with Ellen that you have.
You will. Before you know it, she'll treat you as a confidant, and that can lead to future opportunities.
Still going to get some used to.
The key is to believe in yourself and keep in mind that you do have backing, and the orders are coming from me.
And in a month or so, the orders will be coming from Ellen.
That's right. And there they go. You might want to see what that's all about.
Okay, I was supposed to discuss commissions with Ellen.
She said she wanted to be left alone.
So what the hell am I supposed to do now?
Wait!
Where's Kayla? Okay, Ellen is giving me the cold shoulder.
She's busy right now. I'll answer your questions the best I can.
And I've got a few questions of my
You
own.
you just talked to Ellen.
And she didn't tell us anything.
Will you two relax?
Excuse me.
So all you did was just stood around and said
Hey,
nothing?
we tried to talk to her, okay?
Oh,
but you
come
told
on,
us
you
not to
didn't-
worry and get back to work.
Now listen
No.
up, everyone. I've got some
So-
important things to say.
Listen, so we're all in the dark. Just
Hey,
wonderful,
it's not my
wonderful.
fault.
Yes, it
If
is.
you two are going to keep this up, take it outside.
Quiet, please. Thank you. Now, listen up. Kayla is going to be really busy with this order, so I am going to have to take over some of her duties. If there's anything you need to ask her and she's not available, just come to me and I'll take care of it if I can.
Well, if your assistants can help take the load off of Kayla, maybe she'll get back to being her old self again.
Yeah, I really hope so too. So why don't we look over the new order right now and figure out what we need to do next?
Blackout. End of show. Curtain. Ellen, played by Estelle Piper. Kayla, played by Karen Blagmon. Mandy, portrayed by Carrie Wesolowski. Rick was portrayed by Steve Capasso. Steve was portrayed by Odysseus Baylor. Monica was portrayed by Marlene Villafane. Carl was portrayed by Rick Kuhn. And Stansfield was portrayed by Matt Matthews. Brody was portrayed by Liam Bobersky. Joelle was portrayed by Cathie Borg. Devin was portrayed by Timothy Regan. And our playwright, Robert Kirkendall. And I am Byron C. Saunders, your director. And now I turn it right back over to our host from the theater, John David West.
Awesome, guys. Thank you. Wow. Amazing job. And Byron, thank you for being here and making this happen again.
My pleasure.
Anyway, that's our show this
David,
week. Yeah,
I'm in Washington, D.C. You said I was in California. I would love to be in the warm weather of California.
Oh, did I'm sorry. I don't know what's coming out of my mouth when I go on. It just things come out. So I was more focused on making sure Byron and not Brian. But yeah, you're in DC. Maybe a future of the 51st state, maybe in the future. I don't know.
Well, we shall see. That would be great.
Who knows? Anyway, you guys, thank you. Everybody here donated their time and energy, and thank you for doing that and keeping theater alive, keeping us doing stuff. So thank you guys again. My big hugs and kisses.
You.
You.
Zoom world.
Thank you.
And, everybody out there watching, thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you this Saturday at the theater if we're open though shut. That's at 2:00 at Theater for the New City on 10th Street between 2nd and 1st Avenue. And we have more readings coming up. I just don't have the titles right now. So keep coming back every Thursday. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.